My brother's birthday is coming up, so of course I'm making him a card. Since my brother is a biology and chemistry teacher, I'm of course making him a science-themed birthday card. And I'm using my new We've Got Chemistry stamp set for this. It will be launched on January 24th, so you can get your hands on it as well. So let's get started with the card. I have decided to use this little reaction flask for this. So let's get this off. And I'm just taking a scrap piece of cardstock to stamp these on. And I'm just gonna stamp several of these. I'll just ink it up and then stamp it. Let's see how many of these I get on this scrap piece of paper. Oh, that's nice. Two of them fit next to each other. I just want to keep a bit of space between each of the flasks, so it will be easier to cut them out later. It would be nice if I could get 6 out, but I think it works. I think they will fit. Perfect. And before I fuzzy cut these, I want to color them in using my alcohol markers. And I think I'm going for rainbow colors. So maybe start with a nice dark purple. Oh, that looks nice. Then a blue. Yeah, that's a nice blue. Maybe a green. You know what? I'll just take this one. This one looks nice. Next one will be yellow. Yeah, that looks nice. And also an orange. No, that's too brownish for my taste. This one just says orange, so let's see. That's nice. And last but not least, a red one. This one. Yes, this one looks nice. I think I'm gonna stick with these colors. I'm just gonna go ahead and color in all the liquid in these flasks. While I'm coloring in, just a quick reminder to like the video and subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out and it makes sure that you don't miss out on any more tutorials. And if you're interested in any of the products I use, you can find them all written in the video description. Okay, now that everything's colored in... Oh no, I forgot the bubbles. Okay, not everything's colored in. Let me see. For the bubbles, I might use different shades of each color. Yes, for the purple bubbles. Maybe I'm gonna go with the dark blue on this one. Yes. Very dark blue for these bubbles. Then maybe a very light green for the green bubbles. Yes, perfect. Yes, a very light yellow for the yellow ones. Okay, let's see for the red. Yeah, I mean, I already had this dark one before, so I'm going for this one. And let's see a very light orange. Maybe I have to go for dark orange. You remember that one that was too brownish for me? I think I'm gonna use that for the bubbles. Yes, that looks good. So now that everything's colored in, I'm gonna fuzzy cut each individual flask. I'm gonna use these nail scissors for fuzzy cutting. I love these for fuzzy cutting because they have a slight curve to it, and that makes it very nice and easy to fuzzy cut. And yeah, I'm just gonna do that. I'll leave a little bit of a wide space between the flask and the cut line. And I think I'm gonna speed this up again because it will take some time. Okay, fuzzy cutting done, and now I'm gonna arrange all of these flasks on my card cover. I tried to put them in the right rainbow order this time. Blue, green, yellow, orange, and the red one. Maybe I have to push them a bit further this way so it fits. But yeah, I think that looks nice. And now I'm going to use some foam tape to stick all of the individual flasks to my card cover. I love to use foam tape on cards because it gives it so much more dimension that you wouldn't have with just normal liquid glue. Okay, so let's put these aside again and, well, turn them around so I can put foam tape on their back sides. That sounded weird, but that's what it is. Just a nice long strip of foam tape on all the flasks. And the red one. All right. It's always a little bit of a hassle to get rid of the protective sheet, but the foam tape is so worth it. Okay, now I have to try and put it in a way that is similar to before and will leave space for all the flasks. I think that's good. Doesn't matter that this is overhanging a little because I put this on a slightly bigger card later, so I think I'm good. Green one. Maybe a bit more space. Don't want it to be squashed at one side. And last but not least, the red one. Like this. It's a bit of a space that I don't like, but I think it's not worth it to try and rearrange them. It will rip my card front. So I'm not gonna do that. Okay, so now that's done. I'm gonna take out my other new stamp set, the Elementary Sentiments, and I really love this one because as you can see, there are a lot of sentiments written with only tiles from the periodic table, and I think that is really cool, and I'm going to use the birthday one. But first I have to look for a spare piece of cardstock that I can use to stamp this on. This is quite long, so I need quite a long scrap piece, so let's see. Found one. So as I said, now I'm just gonna use this stamp and stamp it on my spare piece. Luckily, I have quite a large acrylic block for my silicone stamps, so that's no problem. And then I'm just gonna stamp it down. I try to be as precise as possible along the edges of the paper, because then I save myself some cutting later. Yeah, I'm a little paranoid with stamping, so I'm gonna press down each individual tile. I think that should do the trick. Let's see. Perfect. Now you could color in each individual tile, but since the card is already really colorful with all these different colored liquids, I think I'm just gonna keep it black and white. And I think I'm gonna use my scoring and cutting tool for this because it's only just straight edges. I think that might work well. Yep, very nice. And now just this end. Looks nice. And okay, I wasn't as precise as I wanted or had hoped to be, so I'm just gonna go in and cut a tiny piece off from the top as well. Yeah, that looks very nice. And now I'm just gonna put this one up here. Not sure if I should use foam tape again. It will have a lot of dimension with some more foam tape, but I think I'm just gonna stick to normal glue for this one because I already have the foam tape beneath the flask, so I think that's good enough. So I'm just gonna add in a bit of glue. Nice. And then stick it down here. And I try to position it in a way that bottom and top of each flask are visible. So yeah, it's quite centered. And now I'm just pressing it onto all the flasks. Yeah, I think that looks nice. If you lift it up, you might be able to see the dimension of the foam tape, but if you can't see it, you just have to trust me. There is a lot of dimension in this card right now. And now, of course, there's a happy missing, and I think I'm going to use my Happy Flowers die set for this one. This one has a happy sentiment as a die in it, and I think I'm going to use this one. I don't have my die cutting machine here at my crafting table, so I can't show it to you, but I'm just going to take it out and show you the die. There are lots of beautiful dies in there, and I'm just looking for the happy one. Yeah, it's right here. This is the happy die, and I'm just gonna use some black cardstock or black paper to cut it out, and I'll see you in a second once I have cut it out. Okay, here we go. I just have to poke out the tiny in-between parts of the happy, and now let's see how I can position it on my card. I think I go behind the flasks, something like this. Yeah, I think that looks nice. Maybe a little deep down. Something like this. I think that's nice. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of glue on the intersections, as I always do. With the dies, with the sentiment dies, it's always a bit tricky to add enough glue so it sticks, but not too much so it won't smudge. So what I usually do is just put a little bit of glue, mostly on the intersections, which are a little bit thicker, and then just dab on it with my finger to already smudge it out so it won't smudge on the card. if you know what I mean. And I'm just gonna turn it around and glue it onto my card. Okay, it's already smudged a little because I have to drag it down there, but I think that's okay. And if I'm being honest, my brother won't notice anyway, so he actually knows about this stamp set, especially the elementary table one, and when he first saw it, he already called dibs on it, so once I'm finished with it, I think I have to lend it to him so he can use it in his classes. Okay, doesn't that look nice? Now I just have to stick it on a card front, which I have already prepared. Put this away a bit. Okay, and this should fit perfectly. Yes, it does. So I'm gonna add a bit of glue to the back side. Like this, and then I just stick it to my card front, trying to center it as much as possible so there is a nice frame around it, or around the cover. As I said, I'm a little paranoid, so I try to press it down at every space I can reach so it won't wiggle or get loose afterwards. Okay, and that's my finished card. I think it looks really nice with the rainbow colors. I think it has such a fun science theme. And yeah, I'll link all of the supplies I've used in the description box. If you liked the video or if you like this card, I would be so happy if you could show me this with a like on the video and maybe even subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any more tutorials and also help me out greatly. And all that's left to say is happy crafting!